Hey, Divine Ones, it's Latoya Okeia. Welcome back to another episode of the Divine Destiny with Latoya podcast. It's fresh in the morning, Monday morning, matter of fact, and I just took the children to school and about to get back to the house and get started on this workout and get my day started. But before I got into, everything I needed to do today, I just wanted to, share with y'all this revelation that God just gave me in my truck I'm actually still sitting in the truck right now. So before I even get out the truck, I want to give y'all this while it's fresh on me. And man, the Lord just be speaking. I'm like, woo, Jesus, God, I thank you. Let me tell y'all something. It's a blessing just to be able to hear his voice. I remember so many times in my life, God always speaks. Let me say that. God never stops speaking. He's always speaking. We as his children, we just get out of position and we get so far away from him, get so far in the world that we don't hear him. We so full of the world, so full of ourselves, so full of the distractions of the enemy that we miss his voice. We don't hear him, but he's always speaking. And you find out that he never stops speaking. As soon as you get back in position and as soon as you get back in the presence of God, you come back to the will of God. It's like all of a sudden, it's like cleaning out a pipe. Like it's like where everything was clogged out, everything was clogged up. It just starts to flow. So that's a word right there in itself, is being in position to hear God. And now I'm in that position in my life to where I can hear him and I'll never leave his presence again. I will never go away from him again. I will never stray away from him again, because this is where safety is. In the presence of God is where safety is. And God will speak to you, y'all. He will speak to you. He has no respect to persons. I don't care who you are. God will speak to you. If you've been yearning for that, if you've been seeking that, that's a good thing. Stay in that position and wait for him, because he shall surely speak. And then ask yourself, what else do I need to do to get in position? And ask God that and be patient enough. Wait for the answer. He going to give you the answer. You're going to hear a sermon, or you're going to hear a speech, or you may hear a conversation, and you're going to have the answer that you need to know exactly what else it is that you need to do to get in position and to hear his voice. Okay. So like I said, I'm in that position to hear his voice. I'm submitted to him 100%. And it's like messages come back to back to back to back to back to back to back, left to right. Just I can't even keep up with it sometimes. I have to keep me a journal on me. So this is what God told me. Holy Spirit told me as I was coming back down through my neighborhood, pulling in the driveway. He said, bring honor to your family. Bring honor to your family. I'm like, okay, Lord, what you talking about? What is this? Sometimes you just got to sit with him a little bit and just let him explain all the way to you what he mean. So God say, bring honor to your family. And this is what he told me. He said, when you work for your stuff, right? When your stuff was not handed to you, when you didn't get any handouts, when there was nothing passed down to you, there was nothing that you inherited, there was nothing that nobody came and put you on. Nobody shouted you out. Nobody gave you a shot. When you had to literally go and get your stuff out the mud, you had to get it out the mud. Like you had to get on your hands and your knees and work for this. And y'all catch this in the spirit, because this can mean physically, but I'm more so talking about spiritually and you doing that mindset work. God said, when you done had to do that, when you done had to go through that grind for your stuff, he said every single person that has done that, God said there is a level of respect that we have for each other. It's like grind, no grind, pretty much. It's like dedication, no dedication, discipline, no discipline. It's like let's just say when I look at somebody's brand, I look at somebody that's building a YouTube channel, or they building they social media following, or, they trying to build up their clientele or anything. I can look at that person's work ethic. I can look at that person's grind. I can look at that person's consistency. I can look at how they show up. And it may not just be with social media. It may be with, other things that you're doing on the back end, as far as your business or your job. You consistently showing up on your job. You the first one there. You the last one to leave. You take honor in what you do. You're consistent. You're dedicated. You don't half do stuff, but you committed to it 100%. God say, when you do that, he said, you're bringing honor to the family. You bringing honor to the divine family, to your kingdom family. Because see, what you got to understand is you are royalty. You come from a royal family. Your father is a king, baby. You are royalty. And so God say, out here, he said, while you down here in this earth realm, while you living in this physical plane, he say, I need you to be consistent. I need you to be dedicated. I need you to be disciplined. I need you to work hard, and not, God is not talking about hard work is in stuff that we hate to do. God is I love the way Dr. Miles broke that down. Y'all will hear me reference Dr. Miles a lot, because that's my mentor right there. That's my mentor in spirit. So I love the way Dr. Miles explains this, because he talks about what God actually meant when he said work. When God told man to work, when he told us to work, that was not a burden. That was not a curse that God was putting on us, because God told man to work before sin showed up, before the devil came in the garden of Eden and got to Eve. Before any of that happened, when God first created the man, he told the man to work. So that was not a burden. That was not a curse. That was an assignment given to him, given to all of mankind by God. And what God meant was, become who I made you to be, because God hid our purpose. He hid our gifts. He hid our talents. He hid his glory on the inside of us. But it's our job to manifest it. It's our job to bring what is unseen into the scene, so that people may see our work, so that people may see our lives, and they will glorify our Father which is in heaven. That was God's intent. That's God's plan. And so God say, if you're not doing that, he said, you're bringing dishonor. Y'all know I got to get you, because he be getting me. He said, if you're not doing that, you're bringing dishonor to your family. Dishonor. And God broke it down. This how I know it was the Holy Spirit. Come on, like, Lord, why am I even thinking about this right now? It's God. God was like, in other cultures, in other countries around the world, he said, it's certain things that a child or an adult, it's certain things that you go out and do that bring honor to your family. And it's certain things that you go out and do that brings dishonor to your family. And he was showing me, just like in these other countries and in these other cultures, that, you know, like when that person does something to dishonor their family, it's serious, y'all. Like, it's deep. Like, the family liable to not have nothing else to do with them for the rest of their life. They like the daddy, the mother. They like, no, I can't even talk to you, because, you know, you've dishonored our family. You brought dishonor to our family. And then it's like when they do stuff that, you know, like do things that are that the family is proud of, that the family holds to be, considers to be of value. The family says, you know, like, okay, you've brought honor. You have brought honor again to our family. So it's just that serious. Like, God was showing me in other cultures and in other countries how serious this is. And he said, it's serious in the kingdom as well. God said, you got to bring honor to your family's name. Bring honor to the kingdom. Bring honor to your father's kingdom and to your royal family. So he said the way you're going to do that is by taking the raw gifts, because your gifts are, I talk about that in my Beast Mode book. We all have gifts, but our gifts are in raw form. God didn't give us a fully cooked meal. He gave us raw meat. But the good thing is that raw meat is all we need, because all we got to do is, you know, put in a little work, just like how you do with a full course meal. You got to put in a little work. Gonna take a little elbow grease. It's gonna take you getting in there, you know, banging on a few pots and pans and stuff, getting you some more ingredients. Go get you. You look at what you got. You look at what you don't got. Then you just start working with what you got, baby. Then before you know it, you got you a meal in there. It's smelling good in there. So God say that's the way you got to be with the gifts that I placed on the inside of you. Your gifts are in raw form. I remember when I started out doing what I'm doing, I had a little $20 table from Walmart, and that broke me trying to buy that. And then I went and got like a little $60 poster with my podcast logo on it. That really broke me, because I literally didn't have nothing, y'all. I just broke, busted, and disgusted. All I had was my dream and my vision and my purpose, and I knew my gift. So I'm like, all right, Lord, let's work with this. But, you know, it was in the rawest form. I started talking, and I stumbled a lot, which I still stumble, but Hey, oh well. But not nowhere as near as much as I stumbled and stuttered and, was just nervous and, nervous about the way I talk because I grew up in the South. I'm still in the South. And this is just the dialect. This is just the way we talk down here. This is the way I heard my grandma talk, my mama talk. So, and I was a little nervous, very nervous about that, because I'm like, Lord, now I'm country. These folks, they probably ain't gonna understand how I'm saying my words. So I was trying to be very conscious about how I pronounce my words and all that stuff. And what I'm saying is the gift was in the raw stage. It was in the raw stage. And so I had to get in the kitchen and I just had to start working. I just had to start, cooking and start baking and start simmering and start, like putting a little bit of this in, trying a little bit of this. Oh, no, you know how we been doing. We in the kitchen, we trying some new seasoning. We doing this, we doing that. We're like, no, that ain't, that's nasty. That ain't gonna work. So that's literally the way you got to be with your gift, with your purpose. Everything you do is not gonna work out for your benefit. Some stuff you do, some people you work with, some things you get involved in, you like, oh no, I can't do that, baby. That was a mistake. But see, even that has purpose. Even that has purpose because you're cultivating what God put in you. Another thing Dr. Miles always said is that God never gave Adam a chair. He never gave him a chair. He gave us the trees. We got the trees and he put the chairs in the trees. But it was our job to get the chairs out the trees. So that's the same thing. Excuse me. That's the same thing that God is speaking to you today. That's the same thing that God is saying today inside of you. Think about all of the things that God has placed inside of you, but it's not in its finished form right now. Well, God say that's how you're going to bring honor to your family, by working hard, by cultivating, by developing your gift, by taking the rawness that I placed on the inside of you and cooking that and manifesting that. And then it's like, before you know it, after you worked it diligently and you've been disciplined, and every time you work your craft, you get better, you get better, you get better, you get better, you get better. And then it's like just like how in the kitchen, you got a full course meal. Like it's smelling good, it's ready, dinner is served. And God say that's how you're gonna bring honor to your family. And he say, people that done work hard for their stuff, people that had to get it out the mud, like I said, people that's on their grind, it's a level of respect that we have for each other. And we know it when we see it. We know who looking for a handout, and we know who is serious about their grind. We know who is serious about, we know, it's like, who spoon fed and who had to get it out the mud. You just know. And God say each one of us that's in that grind and working hard and dedicated and disciplined and consistent, he said it's just a level of understanding that we have with each other. And like I said, I see people and it's like it's just understood respect. There's a level of respect. It's a whole nother level of respect that I have for them because I understand that grind. I understand it. Especially, it's like a single mother. It's like a single mother. When I see a single mother, I understand that grind, baby. So I feel that. Glory be to God. I have a level of respect. I have a whole nother level of respect for a single mother. I have a whole nother level of respect for a single father, any single parent, because I know how hard that is. So God say, understand that what you do with your children, what you do with your body, what you do with your mind, what you do with your finances. Oh my goodness. Every area of your life, God is looking at what you're doing to see if you're bringing honor to the family's name. Okay. And if you've ever dishonored him, if you ever brought dishonor to him, you can come back from that. Do you understand me? You can come back from that. You can change your story. God has given you the pen. He's given you the divine pen to write your destiny. So you can change that today. You can change it around today and you can start bringing honor to your family's name. And you bring dishonor by trying to go out here and get something for nothing because you're going against the law. You going against the law. You can't get something for nothing. Everything comes with a price. I don't care what they told you. I don't care. There is no such thing as free. There is no such thing as free. Salvation wasn't even free. Jesus had to give his life for that. He had to die for that. There is nothing that you will get in this world that's free. If you didn't pay for it with money, you're going to pay for it some other type of way. Some other type of way. And that is a universal law. You cannot get something for nothing. So anytime you try to get something for nothing, you definitely bringing dishonor to God's name and to the royal family. So let's start bringing honor to his name. Let's start bringing honor to the family. Let's go back to the kingdom. Let's go back to heaven with the prize. Let's hear our Father say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things, and now I shall make you ruler over many. Oh, won't that be a blessed and happy day, baby, when we hear the Father speak those words to us. So that's what we're striving for, y'all. And we're striving to bring his kingdom to earth. And let it be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let's start bringing honor to his name. Let's start taking the gifts that God placed on the inside of us and not walking away from it because it's in a raw form, because we don't want to put in the work. But let's actually put in the work, because one thing I learned, that as you putting in the work, it's enjoyable. I love it. It's hard work becoming who God destined you to be, but I wouldn't want to be doing nothing else. What else I'm going to be spending my life doing? I don't want to spend my life doing nothing except becoming who God has made me to be. That's what I came here for. That's what each and every one of us came here for. So remember that work to God does not mean what work means to a man, what work means to people. When God said work, God meant to become who I made you to be. Like Dr. Miles say, when the bird is flying, the bird is working. When the fish is swimming, the fish is working. Why? Because it is doing what God created it to do. It is becoming what God put in it to become. So whatever it is that he's put in you, you got to cultivate it. You got to develop it. You got to cook it, baby. You got to work it. You got to work on it every day, because it is in your repetition that you're going to get better and better and better. Don't worry about if you stumble, if you fall, if you make mistakes. We all do that. We all do that. That's just the path to greatness. It's going to be all right. The important thing is that you get back up again, that you get back in the fight, that you get back in the ring. Every time you get up, let me say this before I let y'all go. I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to get knocked down, because you are going to get knocked down. You are going to fall. You are going to fail. God ain't studying that. God is concerned that you got back up. Every time you get back up, you bring honor to your Father's name. Do you understand me? Every time you get back up, baby, you bring honor to the royal family. Heaven smiles. Heaven rejoices. Heaven is cheering you on. You got a whole kingdom that's rooting for you, that's backing you up. Every time you take a blow, every time you take a hit, every time you suffer loss and you get back up again, every time you cry your eyes out and you dry your face and you go back out in the world again to face the same demons again, you bring honor to your Father's name. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Y'all make sure, if you haven't, go to LatoyaOkeia.com and get your t-shirts today, baby. I got some t-shirts up there as well as some other merchandise. So if y'all would like to purchase one of the t-shirts, make sure y'all go to LatoyaOkeia.com. I love y'all, and I'll check in with y'all later.